From the waterways of Singapore with their city slicking otters to the Polish-Belarusian border, where it's got down to as little as -25 recently, and I find myself in Europe's last remaining primeval forests, the Polish-Belarusian, I probably said that wrong, forest, where some of the trees and parts of the forest are up to 8,000 years old. Wolves and lynx still roam, but they're not the species I'm here to find. I'm here to find a species that probably not many people know about, the European bison. You're just walking up this little channel. There's tracks all over the place. I've seen wolf, fox, deer, red deer, roe deer, and bison, and I actually just glimpsed a bison up ahead. Whoa. And I almost just ended up in the river. But it's a bit denser this side. You've still got wolf tracks here, unfortunately not that fresh, but it's great to be walking the same tracks that wolves have, perhaps sniffing down bison, but it only happens very rarely. They've got to be one of the most frustrating species I've ever had to or tried to photograph. Such a huge animal. They're either smack bang in the middle of open fields or melting into forests. I mean, they're like a forest elephant almost. It's a huge animal, but I literally just saw one 100 metres ahead of me. And nothing. No sooner had I said that, but ahead of me on the edge of the wood is a bison. It's more, I've never been somewhere in an area like this. It's literally wolf tracks everywhere. If I had time, this is the ultimate place for a camera trap. Wolf tracks going this way and that way. It looks like bison have been across it. When you're filming stuff or trying to photograph stuff like these guys, you've always got to be aware of your surroundings. And just notice the shape in the trees just up ahead. And there's 2 or 3 bison. And these guys, the one thing you don't want to be doing is bumping into them and surprising them. Wolf tracks. Usually mean there's wolves around. That is a bison calf's leg. Look at all of this around here, so that explains it. Who knows where the rest of it is? I might have a little poke around over here. I'm not gonna chase the bison, they're really skittish. This is probably one of the reasons why. So while the light's like this, I'm gonna head back to Teramiski, and although those guys, I mean, they are wild, but it's cheating a bit, but I want to make the most of the light while it's here. So we're going to head back there for now. It's a bit ridiculous, really, that we can get dropped off by a small little shed in the middle of a field with 3 huge bison. Obviously these guys are completely human tolerant compared to the ones we've been looking for today. And they're really big. I can't say I'm the most comfortable I've ever been around an animal, especially looking at the size of those horns. I feel a bit of a cheat being this close to them. There's always situations like this. These guys are probably come here every winter since they've been born, pretty much. And it is great to be so close and observe them and get some close-up shots that I don't think, judging by this morning's efforts, would be ever possible to get.
After our grizzly find earlier, we headed to meet Dr. Rafał Kowalczyk to find out more.
Rafał is a bison expert and works at the Polish Mammal Institute here. How many calves are taken on average per year by the wolves? It's quite rare.
This is, 1, 2 individuals.
Wow.
We got the evidence like this. So the 1, 2 are found every year, but they are usually calves, not adult bison, because bison calves sometimes they lost their mother, they separate from a herd, then the wolves got a chance to kill the calf, because when the calf is in the group, in the herd, there is no chance that they are able to defend, and even a single adult bison is able to defend against of pack of wolves, and the wolf packs in Białowieża are not very big, not in like North America.
Yeah,
maximum. This is 6, 7 individuals. Rarely this is 10 or 11. So this is too small pack to kill really to attack a herd of a bison and so on.
Would that be the reason so that the bison were so skittish and more dispersed? Because you mentioned you'd seen a big group in that area and now they split up.
Sometimes yes, this is possible. If this because even if the wolves are not able to kill that, they can separate the herds into different groups. Males are more brave, but this herds we saw in this area, they are mainly females with sub-adult and calves. So this is very likely that they were possible to disperse the herds, and then it's easier for them maybe to occasionally to kill some maybe young animals they separated from the herd.
It's been a challenging week. I don't think the sun really ever rose, or not least when I was with the bison, but I did get a few opportunities finding them like these guys in the middle of the field and at some of the feeding sites, but also finding that bison's calf's leg. I mean, that was quite a highlight. It's always great to kind of know what's going on while we're not in the field, and to know that we've been photographing an ancient species like European bison whilst walking in the footsteps of lynx and wolf, and actually seeing that evidence firsthand has just been fantastic.